Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you folks so much for joining us today on more Crime and Sports. It has been murdery lately. There has been, we're leaving bodies in our wake. Yeah, if you have not heard the last few, oh man, you've missed a lot of bloodshed and
a couple of bad guys.
Some dismemberment and all sorts of weird shit. It's been more like small town murder. It's been crazy. But this week we're going back to some good old fashioned sports shenanigans here.
Oh, terrific.
With an absolutely just an interesting guy that you've probably never heard of and has had a crazy interesting life right up until very recently. So we'll get into all that, though. Before we do, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. All the merch is there for you. Everything from skateboards to coffee cups. You can get it to shower curtains or whatever the shit's there. I don't know. A lot of stuff's there. So go over there.
To see and back to
Oh, boy, do that. And, you can get tickets for live shows. We're going to announce our tour schedule for next year pretty soon. Certainly you should listen to Small Town Murder and, of course, Your Stupid Opinions. Our new podcast. If you like funny things, Your Stupid Opinions is funny. Just listen to it, give it 10 minutes, and we promise you'll never put it down. So
have a look-see.
There you go. Have a look-see and hang out with us. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the bonus material. So much stuff. Honestly, it's a bargain. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get the whole back catalog. It's hundreds of episodes of bonus stuff that's only available on Patreon, only ever was, and new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you're going to get it all, damn it.
You will.
This week is no different. This week, what you're going to get. All right, for Crime and Sports, we're going back to it. Oh, it's so much fun. It's that time. Yeah. Theme park disasters again, everybody.
Oh, my.
Become some of the most requested Patreons. People really love those, so we're going to go back to that for a nice holiday edition. It's something
You didn't
more.
know the log flume was so dangerous.
It is terrifying, The people mover, forget about it. The people killer, more like it. The child crusher. And Small Town Murders bonus episode. We're going to talk about the very, very creepy and weird documentary on the Twin Flames.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't know whether to call it an alleged cult or it started out sort of as a dating service, but it's the craziest thing you're going to hear about in a while. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And you'll get a shout out at the end of the show where Jimmie will make sure to mispronounce your name. That'll happen. Good for you. So that said, let's do this. Let's get into our episode here. All right. Let's talk about this. Matthew Keough is his name.
Matt Keough?
Matt Keough. Do you know who he is?
Swimmer?
No. Major League Baseball player.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
He's around for a while, too. He really was here. Yeah. Man, I can't believe I have another cold. This is insane. This winter.
What happened to you?
This winter, I have had, like, every other week I have a cold. It's ridiculous. It's driving me crazy.
Listen, it goes back and forth. You get one, I get one, you get one. I'm due.
Every time I go on the road, I get a cold. So that's how it works, basically.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating down.
Every single time. I'm sick when I get home. So anyway, Matt Keough here. Let's get into this. Born July 3rd, 1955. He's a California guy from Pomona, California.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about him a little bit here. Not a ton about his childhood. It seems like he had a pretty good childhood, though, because he is the son of Marty Keough and the nephew of Joe Keough, both of whom also played in the major leagues.
Is that right?
Yeah, so his dad and his uncle played in the major leagues.
Fascinating.
His dad played not for a cup of coffee either. His dad played from 56 to 66. He played
10 fucking years.
11 major league seasons he had, yeah.
My God.
He played for Boston, Boston, Cleveland, Washington, Cincinnati, Atlanta, and Chicago Cubs. He played
so long there was a Washington team.
He played for the Senators before they moved to Minnesota there. So he's been around here, and not a bad player here. Career 242 batting average. Sure. Here he's a lefty, outfielder, first baseman. Not a bad player, though. I mean, honestly, not a starter. Looks like a platoon guy, but you got to be pretty good to stick around for that long.
For sure, yeah.
And his uncle Joe played from 68 to 73 for the Royals and then for the White Sox for 1 year, and he had a 246 lifetime average. So
Uncle Joe
comes from good stock here, good baseball stock.
Kidding.
If you want to be a baseball player, this seems like a good family to be in. Matt himself is just an athlete. He plays 4 sports in high school. He's a 4-sport letterman in Pomona. Baseball, football, basketball, and I think track.
All the normals, yeah.
Yeah, what everybody always does there. Okay. I don't think one of them. It would be great if one of them was like field hockey. He was also
there's wrestling.
The only boy on the field hockey team as well. It's amazing.
There's wrestling and soccer. He could have played either of those.
His grandfather, Zeke, apparently, was known as a San Gabriel Valley sports legend in his youth. Like he was set all sorts of records in high school in 3 different sports, I believe. So
it's in the jizz.
Yeah, it's in the jizz, man. This is definitely there's been a lot of amazing athletes that just leaked onto a bed sheet somewhere, I'm sure. So
yeah, sports for his jizz.
It's not bad. So he's doing well. Later on, he's going to have 3 kids of his own and not name any of them after himself. So that's a good sign.
How about it?
Yeah, Shane, Karen, Colton. And Shane actually was a professional baseball player as well. But he only played for single A, and that's as far as he made it. Wow. Didn't make it to the majors. And his daughter, though, married Kyle Bosworth, the NFL player. So
the Bos.
They're going to make some more. Imagine that. Let's put our stock together. We're making athletes. Those kids. Everybody in all sports now are kids of athletes in every sport.
This is Kyle Bosworth's father-in-law?
Brian Bosworth, I think you're talking. It's Brian Bosworth's kid, isn't it?
Wait, what? You're right.
Bosworth's
you're
kid?
Right, it is. Yeah.
So
because Kyle played for not the Seahawks, right?
That's Brian.
Right,
Bosworth.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Kyle played for somewhere else.
I don't remember who, but
I don't remember.
Either way.
But he played in the NFL.
Yeah, played in the NFL. No, daughter married an NFL player. So they're like, listen, we have generations of baseball stock. You have, Brian Bosworth's, and so here we go. Let's put it together. That's all the leagues now are that. How many guys are kids of athletes when you watch an NFL game? It's ridiculous.
So much.
And in the baseball, the last 5 years, the sport's been taken over by kids of, between the Guerrero and the Tatis and all these. They're all kids.
There's a stat that there were 7 people that got struck out by Nolan Ryan that had children that grew up to be struck out by Nolan Ryan.
Which
they probably now have children that are playing in the league now.
25 years. Yeah, it's gotten way worse. It used to be like a thing like, oh man, his dad was a major leaguer too. Right. That was like a, oh wow, but now it's just so normal. Everybody is like that. They marry like some 5'11" model who comes from like some athletic stock, and then they make these giant athletic children. It's ridiculous.
Right.
So
NBA's the same way.
It's every sport. Yeah, it's every sport.
It is.
Well, NBA would make sense because, you're the genetics,
Right. Yeah, it's all right there.
Some 6'10" guy marries some 6'1" lady, and he's already a basketball player. They're going to make this super basketball player.
And then you have Steph Curry and his brother.
That's what you end up with. So Matt, though, he graduated from Corona Del Mar High in Newport Beach, California in 73.
Jesus.
And, he is drafted by the A's pretty quickly. And
home state.
Apparently anywhere in Southern California, because Rod Beck, my friend, is from, he grew up in Van Nuys. And he said,
"Did he really?"
Yeah, weird. You don't think of him as a Southern California guy, right? Yeah,
that is fascinating.
Yeah. His dad did like. His dad built
Van
camera
Nuys,
rigs.
Alabama.
No, his dad built camera rigs for major motion pictures and shit. No, his dad was in like the movie business, and not like that way, but that's So he grew up there. He said the A's have Southern California for years and years. I don't know about now, but for years and years, they were like, they had every baseball player locked up. Like if you were from a certain areas, you were getting drafted by the A's because they were they were the ones scouting that area the hardest. So Rod was drafted by the A's originally.
Wow.
And everyone was like, oh, yeah, got drafted by the A's. Big deal. Everybody around here gets drafted by the A's. Literally, that's what it was. He was like, oh, well, fuck.
Oh, he's going to play across the bay anyway.
Yeah. So there's an article from a little bit later on where Matt talks about, by the way, he was also, once he was in the majors, was going to UCLA as a psychology student as well, Matt was.
Smart kid.
I guess he's sort of smart, yeah, but he's back then they would, rather than play in college, he's going to go, gets a signing bonus, he's going to go play minor league ball. So he said that he feels the what he calls the quote kids of, meaning kids of famous people.
Yeah.
He said learn at a young age to cope with pressures that they'll encounter at a high level of sports.
Okay.
He said you learn about that much younger. That's not a surprise to you because you're told about it, whereas you wouldn't know to tell your kid the pressures of major league sports, and neither would I. No, you know what I mean? Right. I wouldn't know what to say to him. Hang in there. I don't know.
I barely know the pressures of anything I've ever done.
Be like, if you take mushroom gummies, they're really good to chill you out. You should try those. I don't know what else to tell you. Otherwise, I don't know. So, yeah, he said that that's kind of how he was. Oh, his Uncle Tom, by the way, also punted on the Cal college football team on the Rose Bowl team that they went to the Rose Bowl. He was
his
the
Uncle
punter.
Tom and his Uncle Joe both played something.
His grandfather Zeke made a living his whole life hustling golf, tennis, and bowling. Hustling people.
Really?
In golf, tennis, and bowling. He's like Bill Murray from Kingpin. He's going around hustling for bowling.
Everywhere.
That's what he did for
every sport.
Yeah.
Wow.
Country club golf hustler, as Robert De Niro would put it in Casino. Yeah. So now Matt says, quote, I played golf with my grandfather as a kid. When you're 10 years old standing over a 5-foot putt for $1,
he's hustling the kid.
That is amazing. You're taking your 10-year-old grandson out and trying to make a few bucks off of this outing. That is awesome. I got to say, that's amazing. Holy crap.
For $1, he's going to get $18 out of this.
That is he said, that's more pressure than you got playing this game, meaning baseball. You couldn't pound a needle up your rear with a sledgehammer. So, yeah, your ass would be tight.
Oh, Jesus, that's fascinating.
He said, after a while, you learn to enjoy that pressure. The only time you can become a hero is when there's a lot of pressure. You have to want the ball when the game is on the line. The important thing is that your motivation is greater than your fear of failure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's a thing, I think, and that's a big part of the game, that mental part. Mm-hmm. And if you're the son of or daughter of a big-time athlete, you would probably have that part a little more together than most people.
Honed. Yeah.
Absolutely. So he said at one point, quote, this is funny, just talking about going to a game with his dad, and he said, I remember hiding under the bleachers at Fenway when I was 3 or 4 years old. He said Vic Wirtz, who was a player, Vic Wirtz was going to cut my hair off because he was bald. I didn't know how that was going to work because I already had a buzz cut, but later on I realized he was joking. Oh. He was just harassing a kid like, hey, kid, you're going to make you bald like me. What do you think? Yeah. The kid was like, no, I don't want to be.
I don't even know how that works, but I don't want it.
But that's his childhood, is hanging out under the bleachers of Fenway Park having some ball player fuck with him. You know what I mean? So he grew up.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, it's way different than how, say, we grew up. Just and how most people grow up. Anybody, really. Who the fuck has that experience growing up?
Smoking weed under the bleachers of the drag race strip is a different.
it's a little different.
With another piece of shit kid that's barefoot.
And you're not supposed to be there, and he's allowed to be under the bleachers in Fenway. That's the other difference. Yeah. This is like the dream childhood, it sounds like.
Sincerely.
For like people like us are sports fan kids growing up. Right. Holy shit, to be able to go to the ballpark and have access to shit. So he was drafted June 5th, 1973 by the Oakland A's in the 7th round of the amateur draft here. So he was signed as an infielder. He'll be a pitcher later on. But he's signed,
7th round signed as an infielder.
Yeah, which, I mean, there was like 150 rounds back then. So 7th round wasn't that bad. And a lot of pitchers start out as shortstops. That's common.
Really?
Yeah, or other infielders. Yeah, hugely common.
Gotta have a sick arm.
Yeah, Trevor Hoffman was a shortstop for a long time, I remember. I don't know why that one popped in my head, but there's been tons of guys like that. Tim Wakefield. Wakefield couldn't cut it as a position player. Fucking couldn't hit anymore. Yeah, didn't hit any very well at a certain level and switched to throwing a knuckleball, and next thing you know, he's pitching for 20 years.
No,
so
after that.
It happened. Oakland drafted him to replace Sal Bando, who was their star third baseman who had left. So he was the guy who was eventually going to be their third baseman of the future. That's why they drafted him. But he plays in the California League at Modesto, which is a minor league affiliation there, in his second year of professional baseball. In his first year, he led the California League. So the rookie league, he led the league in batting average.
Great.
Doing great. Then he goes to Modesto in Double-A and hits 210.
Ouch.
Which is, you hit a wall, because that's when the Double-A is when the serious shit's happening.
You're facing really good pitchers.
Guys have sliders now.
Yeah.
When guys have breaking balls they can throw for strikes, that's when the whole game changes, because you're not just looking to time a fastball anymore.
And you've got a guy that had Tommy John and is coming back up, and he's got a fucking sick fastball too.
These guys, I mean, the minor leagues, there's guys throw so hard. You'll go to these single A games that I go to all the time, and there's guys throwing 98
that
on the regular.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's there. You just, can they get a breaking ball to go with that is the question.
Right.
So he ends up being converted to a pitcher. Listen, we like you. You're a good player. You got a good arm.
Hang on to you. Yeah.
Like you at third base.
Yeah.
You got to hit better than 210. So if you're hitting 210 here, we don't expect much better in the majors when guys are way better.
111 up there.
Yeah,
that's not good.
105 isn't going to cut it. Yeah. So they converted him to a pitcher, and it's the best thing for him because they converted him to a pitcher in 76. He hit 210, and by 77, he's on Oakland pitching. He's on the A's in the majors pitching.
Wow.
By the end of the next year. So he caught on quick to that business there. 77, Oakland had a little dynasty in the early 70s.
Yeah.
And they had Sal Bando and Reggie Jackson and Raleigh Fingers and Catfish Hunter and all these people. Yeah. But by 77, Charlie Finley, who's the cheapest owner in sports history, had let all those guys go, to half of them to the Yankees, Jackson and Catfish and all these guys.
We're going to hang on to Raleigh until he's in a fucking casket.
No, he left. He went to Milwaukee. He went all around. Yeah.
And did he come back?
Later, I think, possibly.
Yeah, because I swear to fuck I've watched games with him there.
Well, Charlie Finley sold the team, and then it was a different story. Once the new owners took over in, I want to say late 70s or 80, something like that, they were those guys. Since Oakland moved out of Oakland now, and now they're in fucking Las Vegas. It's interesting to talk about a little bit of their history. But those guys, that ownership group, took it upon themselves to, even if they lost money, they tried to put the best team on the field, because back in the day, a lot of people who own these teams thought of it as a civic responsibility. Yeah. You own the baseball team of this city. So you can't put shit out there.
Fucker fun to watch.
It's a matter of civic pride for them to put a good product on the field. That's why you ended up having those really good late 80s teams, because they were spending money. Okay. And then they sold the team and then went right in the cheap, fucking back to the cheapness again. And then you get Moneyball and all that shit. Yeah. And basically they've destroyed the game with horseshit analytics, and they've decided that's better to look at. Yeah, that's so anyway. So 77, 63, and 98 they go. So not very good. Manager gets fired during the year and all that kind of thing. This is not the same. They still have Vita Blue, Doc Ellis, couple people we know about pretty well here. So 77, he goes 1-3 pitching, 42 innings pitched. He only gives up 39 hits, so that's pretty good. 4.85 ERA. He's only 21, so they're looking at him as something, not bad. So 78, they're 69 and 93. Yeah. So again, listen to this. Okay. They have Jack McKeon, I guess, to begin the year in 77 as a manager. They fire him, and Bobby Winkles is there.
Yeah.
Bobby Winkles, okay? Then the next year, Bobby Winkles is fired after going 24-15, and Jack McKeon is brought in again. So I don't know what the hell happened here, but
Jack have surgery?
it's something. I don't know if he had a heart attack or something, but he's like Lou Brown from Major League 2.
Had to pass a kidney stone or something?
Some shit here. But Matt's getting in the groove of the majors here. He threw a spitball sometimes back then, which guys still, that's the end of the era of guys throwing spitballs. That was Gaylord Perry special and all that kind of shit. August 20th, 1978, he threw a spitball that Boston second baseman Jerry Remy missed and looked like he struck out. But the umpire saw that the pitch had so much break on it, like a ridiculous amount, that he assumed that the guy fouled the pitch off.
Oh,
he didn't think it was a swing and a miss because he goes, "There's no way the ball broke that far. He must have fouled it down or something." So he called it a foul ball, and it stayed 2 strikes. It should have been strike 3. On the next pitch, the guy hit a home run.
Oh, God damn it!
Yeah, which is like shit. So the spitter, too much break on it to fool the umpire.
Spit. Yeah,
too much spit. So he actually is selected. 78's his rookie year because he didn't have enough appearances in 77. So 78 is technical rookie year. He is selected as an all-star.
Wow.
In his rookie year, and he has a 3.24 ERA that year.
Okay.
Goddamn good. Not bad. He's only 8-15 his record, but that's not his fault. The team sucks. There's nothing you can really do about that. He pitches 197 innings.
Yeah, if he's only allowing 3, and they just can't get any fucking runs, that run support matters for a pitcher.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, he started 32 games, 3.24 ERA, and lost 15. That's lost twice as many as he won almost. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that if you're a good pitcher on a bad team. You can't make your team score runs. It just doesn't work that way. So, he's a good pitcher, though. 108 strikeouts, 85 walks. He's got more walks. Okay. Still a little bit. I'd like that to be 2-1, but he's young, though. He's only, he's a kid. He's a kid, but he's an all-star, so good for him. 79, Jesus, Oakland is terrible this year. 54-108.
Yikes.
Jesus, Charlie Finley. This is right before he sold the team.
Over 100 games.
He knew he was selling the team, so he was not paying anybody.
Give a fuck. Yeah.
Didn't care. I'm looking at this, Ricky Henderson. There's a rookie Ricky Henderson on this team, which is pretty fucking cool. You got Ricky Henderson. Tony Armas is on this team. Mike Heath. I'm looking at guys who are even like good players. Mike Morgan. Jesus, not a lot of good players on this team. Anyway, he this year, wow, this is a rough year for old Matt here.
Yeah.
He ties a major league record this year.
Oh, no, it's a bad one.
It's not a good one. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
This is like Ricky Vaughn going fucking, hey, 4 wild pitches in 1 inning. I set the record. You made their Hall of Shame. He sets a major league record at the time. It's since been beaten, but he loses his first 14 decisions of the year.
Ouch. 0-14 to
start the season.
Oh, fuck.
He has a 2-17 record to finish the year.
Oh, my God. Didn't win a game till after the All-Star break.
That's wild. A 5.04 ERA.
Yeah.
It went downhill. His winning percentage of 105 was the worst recorded by a major league pitcher with 15 or more decisions since 1916.
I mean, it's not his fault, but it's kind of his fault.
Back then, that was also the A's. The Philadelphia A's teammates Jack Neighbors and Tom Sheenan finished with winning percentages of .048 and .059.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. They were pitching every third day, too, so they had so many losses.
But really, it was just every game they didn't pitch, they lost, too.
Yeah, it's everything. So from 78 to 79, Matt made 28 consecutive starts without winning a game.
Oh, my God.
That tied Cliff Curtis, who in 1910-11 had the longest streak in MLB history at that time. It was later broken by JoJo Reyes, or later tied by JoJo Reyes in 2008 to 2011.
Really?
Yeah. That's like that. Remember Anthony Young, the Mets pitcher in the 90s, who lost all those games in a row? He went like 28 games without winning a game. And he was pitching well, too. Like, he wasn't getting bombed. It's just the Mets were terrible, and he had bad luck. is one of those.
Just losing 3-4.
Yeah, or he'd get no decisions. He'd be up, 4-1, and they'd lose the game when he came out. So there's nothing he could do about it. The bullpen blew the game. So he loses 17, 1-2, which, like we said, is not bad. So he said, quote, "Kids," later on he'll tell his grandchildren, "Kids, I must have been some kind of pitcher. Only me and Walter Johnson ever got to start with those kind of numbers." It's funny. They thought I was doing pretty well here. So 1980, Charlie Finley sells the club in the middle of the season here in August. Billy Martin takes over as manager this year.
Fantastic.
And we're going to do a multi-part Billy Martin episode, by the way, because his whole fucking life is insane. He has a long FBI file that I found.
Really?
Billy Martin is, wow, is he a story? I mean, everything
Mobbed
from the...
up, right?
Ish. He knows a lot of people. Put it that way.
Around a lot of people.
He's got a lot of friends, Billy Martin. And he hangs around bars exclusively. He started the Copacabana brawl, the famous. It's all Billy Martin setting it off. Like, he is the guy. So Billy Martin here takes over as manager. And so they do a little bit better, 83 and 79, which that's just will of Billy Martin. Yeah. People afraid he's going to fucking murder them if they don't play better.
And spitting in the face of people as he yells at them. Yeah.
And what Billy did here is Billy was famous for, he hated bullpens, Billy. He just didn't like relief pitchers. Wasn't a big fan of relief. He wanted starters to finish games. Because in the 50s, Whitey Ford would finish his game when he played. You know what I mean? It's one of those guys.
Yeah, but Whitey's pitching 6 to each batter. He's not fucking throwing 90 pitches by inning 5.
Whitey's also doctoring the fuck out of the ball and getting a nasty curveball, and Whitey's doing a lot of and Whitey also has Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris and Yogi Berra and all these fucking Elston Howard in his lineup. So Whitey can give up 4 and still win the game.
That's fine.
A little bit different here. So this staff, the pitching staff, Billy made them throw 90 complete games during the 1980 season.
Holy shit.
I assure you 90 complete games weren't thrown in the major leagues this year. I assure you of that. No way that the entire league threw 90 games. Just this starting pitching staff on Oakland had 90 complete games.
It would be, but it's 0, right?
Some because there's been some complete games
this year.
Yeah. There's
you're
been some.
right, because there was a perfect game.
There's a perfect game. So there's the Yankee.
There's probably 30 then, 40,
if that. Yeah, but 90 on one staff.
That's insane.
Would never happen. I mean, think about it. That's every starting pitcher back then. 4-man rotation. They went to 5 by then, but that's almost averaging 20 complete games per starting pitcher
per person,
which is fucking insane. So, but he said later on, Matt told the New York Times in 1999, this is Billy Martin's philosophy here for going the distance for a starting pitcher. Quote, he used to tell us, don't even look at the bullpen. There won't be anyone down there.
Ain't nobody going to be working out. It's just you out there. Get out to it.
And a team like this, a shit team, they don't have anybody good in the bullpen anyway.
Yeah, what's the matter anyway?
This isn't the, Billy Martin's Yankees from a couple of years before that had Sparky Lyle and Goose Gossage out there in the bullpen where you want to go to those guys. They're fucking good.
Your tired pitch is probably better than your reliever's good pitch anyway, so keep throwing them.
And that's what it is. That guy sucks. At least you're decent. You're tired but good. He's fresh
that
but
guy
shitty.
Can't even start.
Yeah, he's been there because he's not good. It wasn't like guys are specialty acts as much back then. You had some of them, but I mean like a Goose Gossage throwing 100 out of the bullpen back then was a lot, obviously.
For the most part, it's just a bunch of guys that got 2-3 innings in them.
That's it, yeah.
Just run those 9 and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, so those middle relievers are guys who aren't good enough to be starters generally. That's what they are. That's
the rub.
That's it. Yeah. So
he was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from Law and Crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
He said Billy's whole philosophy was, why should I bring in someone from the bullpen, lefty or righty, when they're not as good as the guys I have on the mound now?
There it is.
And there it is. So, and it wore everybody down. Multiple guys had career arm injuries that fucked up their career and all of that. But Matt said that, he said, it's not Billy's wasn't trying to hurt people. He said we were all naive to it. We all just thought it was a matter of toughing it out. It wasn't a matter of, you literally can't make your arm do that for that long. Right. We didn't know. And he said everybody looks at it as negative, but Billy didn't get us hurt. I don't think the complete games caused the injuries. The way we were used. After we got hurt, Billy convinced us to keep pitching. Our egos bought into it. It was a big tough guy thing back then.
Yeah.
If you're hurt, you play through it, and then all the guys on the team go, "Man, that's one tough son of a bitch."
There he goes.
And that was baseball. That's
that's what Nolan Ryan was too for a long time.
Every
it was
guy.
just, wow, this guy's a fucking animal.
You can't pitch for 10 years and not have some stuff hurt. It's just not possible.
Yeah,
so nowadays, the guy's stuff hurts. They shut him down. They limit their innings. Back then, they just wouldn't tell anybody that stuff hurts.
Right.
Because they didn't want to be put on the bench and they didn't want to be thought of as shit for their next contract, as damaged goods and all that. It's a different game.
He pitched until he literally could throw no more balls and he knew it. Until his arm just said no more.
And they've done that. They did this for a long time. This didn't go away in 1979. I mean, when Rod was pitching in the 90s, they destroyed his fucking arm. Yeah. He set the record for consecutive days with appearances, Rod. Dusty Baker brought him out 11 straight days.
That's not a good thing.
11 straight days, dude. Think about that.
That's not a good stat and record to own.
I was watching an old game on YouTube, and they were saying he came in, and they were like, this is Rod's 9th appearance in a row. So they were like, if he does, the announcers actually said, if he doesn't look sharp, don't blame him for it. This is his 9th night in a row pitching. So
this is Dusty's problem.
It's crazy that he's even doing this. This was on San Francisco. So he wore him out. And then in Chicago in 98, they did the same thing. I mean, he had 51 saves. So think about his appearances. And they just threw him out all the time. And he had to have his whole arm reconstructed when he went to Boston. Lord. Elbow, fucking shoulder, all of it was fucking destroyed. Rotator cuff, tendons.
Dusty's been in so many. I think it was like 9% of all games ever played. Dusty Baker's been involved in them.
I don't think that high, but still,
I think it's like 3% or some shit. But
he's been around a long time.
It's a lot. He's been in so many games. Yeah,
and then he's been continuously in a dugout since then. So
until fucking yesterday.
Yeah. So 1980 though, Matt has a comeback year, man. I mean. Yeah. The previous year, he had a 5.04 ERA, and he went 2-17. This year, he goes 16-13 with a 2.92 ERA.
Wow!
Through 250 innings, which you'll never see again in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
You'll never see 250 innings again ever. I think the guy. I don't think anybody pitched 200 innings this year, which used to be like the baseline for a starter. Say you need a guy who can give you a good 200 plus innings. That was like what you said. Per season. Now it's like 175. They're like, shut him down, rest him. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what the fuck's going on with people's arms. I have no idea. So this year, though, he does so well that he wins the AL Comeback Player of the Year honors.
Really?
Yeah, big deal. So He's only been in the league 3 whole years.
He's already winning comeback player.
He's already Rookie of the Year,
All-star.
a piece of shit, and a comeback already.
Yeah.
Think about that. Or not Rookie of the Year, but an All-Star.
All-star, yeah.
Should we kick him out of the league? Okay, he's all the way come back again. He's had this career of like a 41-year-old man. He's 24 years old.
3 years.
Comeback Player of the Year. Wow. So 81, Oakland, they go 64-45. Oh, first half, second half. Was there a strike in 81?
I don't know.
I think there was a strike in 81 that shortened the season.
I was born.
Yes,
I have
there
no
was.
fucking clue.
So they go to the playoffs this year, though.
Okay.
And they lose to, or they win the divisional series. They sweep the Royals and then lose to the Yankees. They get swept by the Yankees that year in the ALCS, and the Yankees go on to lose too. So there you go. And that year, though, he's 10-6, 3.40 ERA. He only throws 19 games, but he finished 10-6. The Oakland won the AL division, and he does very well here. He in the game 3 of the ALCS, he gave up 1 earned run over 8 1/3 innings.
Wow!
But then he came out and somebody else gave up 3 runs, and the Yankees won 4-0. So if you score 0 runs, you can't win.
Yeah.
No matter how well you play. He threw 8. And think about that. He came out in the 9th with 1 out. Giving up 1 run.
You only got 6 strikes. Throw them.
That's as good as you can ask from your starter. You can't ask for much more than that from a starter. That's ridiculous. So he does very, very well. Now, 1982, 68-94 again. Now they suck again. Billy Martin is the manager now. Still, he's remaining. And this year, he goes 11-18. 18 losses, leads the AL, by the way. With a 5.72 ERA.
Okay.
So not good. 209 innings pitches. He leads the league in earned runs allowed and home runs given up.
Really?
He gave up 38 home runs that year.
Holy shit.
That is a lot of home runs. He's throwing batting practice out there. Holy shit. He walked more batters than he struck out.
Yeah.
This isn't good. And gave up a lot of home runs and everything else. So, he is estimated to have thrown 131 pitches per complete game in 81, by the way.
Holy.
That is fucking wild. So he had 10 complete games too that year. So
oh my God.
Holy shit.
What is that? 1,200 pitches in a year?
Yeah. In the 1980 season, he had 20 complete games.
Oh my God.
So in the last 3 years, he's had 40 complete games.
Whew.
That's a lot. 83, new manager. Same result, 74-88. Oakland's not that great. Ricky Henderson's doing great, though. They still have him.
Sure is.
This year for Oakland, he goes, what is this? Oh, less. Okay, yeah. Oh, he gets traded. That's right. He's traded by the Oakland to the Yankees that year for Marshall Brandt, Ben Callahan, and some cash. And Billy Martin must have liked him because Billy Martin was the new Yankee manager, and they traded for him. So he must have liked him. Huh? Yeah, if Billy likes you, if you're one of Billy's guys, he'll love you forever and try to get you on any team he has. That's how he is. And if he hates you, he fucking hates you and will try to get rid of you, basically. That's it.
Yeah.
So this Yankee team in 83, this is a rookie Don Mattingly on this team. Goose Gossage, Oscar Gamble's still there. Steve Balboni with his bald, big, giant Italian ass. Looks like he's making pizzas. Wow. Dave Winfield's on that team. Yeah. Dave Righetti, Willie Randolph. This is like a lot of the
good team
of my youth. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is, they had Otis Nixon. That's right.
Jesus.
They had Otis Nixon back then.
Oh, goblin face.
Holy shit. This year, this is one of the only years we could find salary for him. He made $420,000 for the Yankees.
Okay.
Which is good money back then.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
Real good money.
In the 80s? Fuck yeah.
He's released.
70s, right?
In the 70s, yeah. This is 83. He's released by the Yankees November 5th of 84, so after the season. He doesn't pitch very well anyway. He's got a 5.17 ERA for the Yankees. Yikes. So he's released. But in 84, he's having a bad career time, but he also is having a good marrying time.
Okay.
He marries the 1980 the November 1980 Playboy Playmate of the Month.
What?
Yeah. Marries himself a model. That's why you have athlete kids and girls who can marry NFL players, because you're marrying Playboy
he's got
playmates.
A naked gal. Yeah.
Jenna Ellison Tomasino.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Playboy, the mates of the month, though, were also like models, too. They were like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, they were all very
They're doing all kinds of shit.
pretty. So
Plenty of work.
he has a sore arm for the next couple years. In 85, he signs as a free agent with St. Louis, with the Cardinals. Lucky for him, they go 101-61 and go all the way to the World Series that year.
Wow.
Yep, losing in a 7-game series to the Royals. That was a classic series there. So pretty cool for him. He has a 4.50 ERA. He's 0-1. Only pitches 10 innings though. So that's all right. November 12th, 1985. He's granted free agency again.
Really?
So in 86. He is on the Cubs sign him here. Okay. So they're not a good team either. They have 3 managers that year. That's not a good sign. That's bad. They go 70-90, the Cubs. And, he doesn't really contribute very much there. 4.97 ERA. So,
Andre Dawson's there, yeah?
Yeah, he makes $100,000 that year.
Okay.
So June 14th, 86, though, he's released by the Cubs. So halfway through the year. Then he signed as a free agent by Houston, who's also has a good year that year.
Boy, is he bouncing around.
Now he's just looking for anything, and he doesn't pitch very much for Houston either here. He has a 3.09 ERA with 35 innings pitched. So
get it together, Matt.
It's not going very well. October 24th, 86, he is released by the Astros. No. So, he's...
That playmate's about to leave.
We'll find out. She's going to stick around a long time. And,
really?
She's gonna get a TV career out of it. As a matter of fact.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, hold on, everybody. There's a lot coming up here. I know it's been baseball for a while, but it's coming up here. In 87, after the Cardinals and Cubs and Astros debacle here. Yeah. This is the year, by the way. 87 is when the owners were colluding against free agents. It was a court thing. They had to pay out millions of dollars to. It happened. It's not a conspiracy theory. They paid millions of dollars out in fines and penalties to players and retribution because they just said the salaries are getting out of hand. Don't sign guys.
We can't afford it. Yeah.
So like Andre Dawson, who was the MVP the year before, that year got fucked over. Nobody would sign him.
One of the most likable guys ever.
Had to sign for like no money because nobody would sign him because they were colluding, and then they found that out later, and he got paid. So they were doing that. He gets a $500,000 offer. Matt does here to play for the Hanshin Tigers of Japan.
Yeah,
and
he
I guess
that right.
His father played there as well. So and he said at one point to the Los Angeles Times, "We're the first American father-son combo to have played in Japan." And a lot of Japanese fans mention how they remember my dad over here.
How about that?
Yeah, so there's not a ton of Americans, so the ones that are there stand out, and they remember them. So and also his name is weird. A lot of vowels.
If Ichiro had a kid, I'd know who he is.
Exactly. So he pitches 4 seasons in Japan, which isn't bad. He was the last former major league pitcher to win double-digit games in Japan at the time. He said that at one point, quote, "The key to being happy over here is to arrive with the attitude that you're not going to be playing American baseball here. A lot of guys, they've come over here and fought changes and had the attitude that that's not how I did it in the States, and then this is how I'm going to do it like this here." And apparently not the attitude to have in Japan.
I imagine.
I think that's the plot of the movie Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck, as a matter of fact, isn't it? Exactly
Things are
that.
Different. Yeah, it's a fish out of water story.
Remember the black dude is like, "Man, you got to just go with the flow over here. You don't understand. You're not in America anymore." And it's basically the same thing here. So he said that the interesting thing is they do anything to get an advantage on their opponents in Japan. It's like totally fine to like spy and cheat and do all that kind of shit there. That's considered gamesmanship over there. Yeah. He said, quote, "Stealing signs, strategy," which is what the Astros did and got in trouble for. "The thinking part of the game is emphasized a lot more here," meaning Japan. "The starting pitchers are not announced before the lineup cards are exchanged at home plate. So you don't know who's pitching against you that day until he goes out on the mound to warm up."
I like that.
That's kind of cool. But we'll never do that because gambling is a giant business here.
It matters
and that's
too much,
the reason why we don't do that. half the things in sports where you go, why is that? Gambling is why that is, because they're bending over
sports,
and grabbing
which is gambling.
Yeah, they're bending over and grabbing their ankles so the gamblers don't get upset. So that's who the game's for. It's not for you if you're a fan.
It's not for you.
Just know that. So he said that all the clubs have video cameras. This is in the 80s. And guys with binoculars in the scoreboards, in the dugouts, and all the dugouts have TV monitors. So they're constantly spying as much as they can on each other.
Looking for signs, looking for anything
they can get for an advantage.
I like this place way better.
It's fucking crazy. So 1991, he attempts to come back to the major league since he's had a good 4 years in Japan. He signs with the California at the time Angels.
Jim Abbott.
Yep, in spring training here.
Yeah.
And doesn't make the roster.
Oh.
So he tries again in 92. Okay. He tries it in 92, and he makes the California roster. So
really?
Yeah, he's on the path to being another comeback player of the year here. Just the fact that he made it back is incredible.
Twice.
So this is fucked up. Okay. It's one of the last exhibition games of the year. And he's made the roster. They've told him he's going to be on the roster. He's very excited. He is sitting in the dugout. He's in the spring training. They'll tell guys, you're going to go 4, then you'll go 2, then you'll go 2. Yeah. It's because they're not trying to win. They're just
because it doesn't matter. Right.
It's just you need this much work, everybody. Okay, right. Even if you're getting shelled. So they told him you're going to pitch later. So just so you know, so he's pitching later, but he's in the dugout hanging out when the San Francisco Giants' John Patterson rips a foul ball into the dugout.
Oh, no.
And hits him in the right temple with it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, hits Matt in the right fucking temple with the ball and fucks him up royally, as we'll talk about.
Forever?
Oh, he's not. He's fucked up. Yeah, he has to have
scrambled him.
Emergency surgery to relieve the pressure on his brain after he's struck in the right temple by a foul ball. Yes. They said the doctors have given the Angels no reason to believe that the injury is life-threatening. They're not talking about playing. They're talking about living at this point with him.
What the fuck?
Yes. They said he's resting in intensive care and tests are scheduled.
Oh, my God.
He was listed in critical condition at Scottsdale Memorial Hospital. Oh, my God.
Wow. This is at spring training.
I know about this. I know about this. This is against the Giants. Fucking Rod was there. He told me about this.
Really?
This was when, yes, this was
when they played. It's the same park in Old Town Scottsdale.
Because they had moved, though. They used to play at the other park, and they moved to this park, and they said it saved his fucking life because it was close to the hospital.
Right across the street. Yeah, it's right there.
Holy fuck. Rod told me about this 15 years ago.
Wow.
And he said spring training is duty. He goes, man, we're lucky we moved that fucking stadium because they got him right to the hospital. Otherwise, it would have been, he got hit in the head hard and blah, blah, blah. That's what he was talking about. It just clicked in my head now.
Because that place is between Indian School and Camelback, and I think that hospital's on Indian School or on. It's on. It's on Osborne. It's right in between.
Right,
yeah, it's right there.
It's literally in the parking
right there.
lot.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think they took him in. I think they wheeled him on a fucking stretcher to the hospital. There's no point in getting in a car. It would take longer. So
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay.
He took a line drive. It's a bouncer probably to the dugout. Oh no, the dugout. Oh my God, not
right off his head.
Not the bullpen, the dugout.
The dugout liner.
Shit.
I mean, bam, from here to there. That's why they have those screens up now.
Yeah, that's fucking 40 feet.
Yeah, it's not far. A liner will scare the shit out of you.
Absolutely.
Hit him right in the fucking head. So, they said he was there. They had to perform an emergency craniotomy.
What?
Sounds like they're taking away his head off. Yes, taking his whole cranium, I think, is what that means.
We decraniumed him.
That's it. He's going to be a few inches shorter now, but his hat's going to fit funny, but we think it's going to work. So
the Angels got one sideshow, may as well have two.
Fuck it, sideshow. Sideshow. There's a shout out for my cousin there for screaming sideshow as a disabled man pitches in the major leagues incredibly. And for us for going, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life also. So
a one-handed man is incredibly throwing a baseball and flopping the mitt and you're screaming sideshow.
Sideshow. Hey, sideshow. But not like that in a mocking way, like that was his name. That's hey, sideshow, sideshow. Hey, sideshow. That's
Gonna need you to pitch 2 more, Sideshow.
That's fucking. And watching him hit's even crazier.
I can't imagine.
There's a baseball card of him with the hand on the bat. So
with the thing.
We're going to do a Patreon one of these days about disabled professional athletes because it's incredible.
Really?
Some of the guys that you're like, how the fuck did he play in the majors with half a leg? What's up with that?
We can leave Pistorius out of that. We've already done that.
Yeah, definitely. He's out, by the way, now.
Unbelievable, right?
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, they let that guy out after 10 years. That is, he is springing away on his bouncy legs, whatever those things are.
He better run.
We know he's fast, but he's
we do,
wow.
Yeah.
That's I'm kind of blown away by that they let that dude out.
Serves sentences faster than he runs, evidently.
Yeah, apparently so.
Unbelievable.
So, a brain scan for Matt here had revealed an epidural hematoma, a blood clot inside the skull.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
A brain blood clot? Oh, my God.
Fucking bashed in the head. He appeared to be, the report after the game was he appeared to be on a good road to recovery, but then complications developed after that as well.
You can have a stroke.
So he has to have further brain scans. Jesus Christ. Yeah, third base dugout. Holy fuck, that is brutal. It was the bottom of the first inning, too.
Jesus
So he was probably just getting his sunflower seeds together and everything. He probably wasn't even paying attention. That's brutal. He was taken via ambulance to the hospital across the street.
Right.
Thank fuck there. Luckily, Marty, his dad, was working as a scout for the Cardinals and happened to be there while he was being treated, which the Cardinals don't even play there, so I don't know how that happened.
Right.
But
they play down in Florida.
Either way. Other family members were flown by the Angels to Scottsdale. They said he seemed woozy and lost consciousness for a few seconds, according to the trainer. Christ, I would imagine you'd be woozy. The manager of the Angels, Buck Rogers, this is the best manager name in baseball history, he said, quote, "It was awful. It sounded like it hit a squash."
Oh, jeez. Why do you have to say it like that, man?
Jesus. I mean, that's very descriptive. I'll
I
give
get
him
it,
that.
but
you know what?
Don't say that.
He's going for accuracy, not listener comfortability here, I think,
God.
What's going on here.
He heard it squish.
He said Matt was scared, real scared. No shit.
Yeah.
And then Don Robinson, an Angels pitcher, said it hit him flush in the face. He didn't have any chance to get out of the way.
Oh, Christ.
Holy fuck. That is such a shame, dude. That's terrible.
That's
what
fucked up.
The guy makes it all the way back. He pitched twice in the spring. He allowed 1 run in 5 innings. He was invited and only pitched a little bit before he had shoulder problems last year. Now this is a mess. His wife, though, said, quote, "The minute he got injured in 1992, he was not the same person." Oh. It's fucked up his whole brain, dude. This is
not the same pitcher, not the same person.
This is, you know how we're going to say grace here before, because this is where it all goes. He was doing great.
Fine. Yeah.
And to me, making it all the way back, that's grace. You know what I mean?
That's huge.
That's grace. And then this hit in the head sent his life on a completely different path and trajectory.
Who hit it?
Not the same at all. Who hit the
it?
ball?
Do you remember? Yeah.
And the guy that, let me look again here. It's not John Patterson.
Huh.
It doesn't matter. So, yeah. She said, quote, "He was not the same person. From 1992, he woke up, he didn't like me. I'm kind of not what he wants. He needs he needs peace and quiet, and I had a house full of crazy kids and their friends, and he's been alone for a long time. He prefers the company of himself." That's what she said 10 years later.
Oh, my.
He woke up and said, "I don't like you anymore, and I don't like our life, and I just want to be alone."
Holy.
It fucked his brain up, man. He got hit in the head. I mean,
turned him into a wild man.
Turned him into a different person completely.
I don't want my children and my fucking playmate of a wife.
Yeah, no.
Get out. What?
I can't deal with it. I want to sit by myself.
Oh, man.
Yep, he prefers the company of himself. So, but they were still together for a long time.
Yeah.
They were together for another 12 years.
We just had different households.
After that, yeah, they were together, but I guess they were just trying to figure it out. From 92 to 99, he worked for the A's and the Angels as a roving pitching coach, they called it, and he was an executive from 92 to 99 as well. After that, he was a scout for Tampa Bay for the Devil Rays, and then he was an executive for the Oakland Athletics for a while as well. So he had a bunch of jobs in baseball. So that means he's well liked in baseball. If people seem to look out for him and make sure that he stays in the game. You know what I mean?
Feel for him for the trajectory he was on, and then the trajectory that changed, and people feel bad about that. They're helping him do things that are. I mean, it's pitching adjacent. It's in the realm he's aware of. So that's good.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So
he's capable.
It's something that, that's how it works in baseball, basically. The jobs go to guys who are well liked.
Yeah.
You hang out with guys, they're your teammates, then they get jobs in front offices and they hire guys they like. You know what I mean? That's who they want to work with, a guy whose baseball philosophies they talked out in the dugout and they agree with them. And that's how you get it. It's all circle jerking.
You can see that as like personalities are likable and liked by the organization, but there's also the guys that are loved by fans and they just get work because the fans like to see them.
They want to see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing about baseball. It's also a game of attrition. It's a long season.
Yeah. Right.
162 games. These guys are together. It's not like these guys are together every fucking day for like 8 months. You know what I mean? So a lot of it has to do with, do you like this person? Can they get along? Harmony is a much bigger deal in baseball because you need it every single day.
Sure.
So it's a big deal.
People despise fans, despise Matt Williams as like a complete dick, but he was a third base coach forever.
Because the players like him.
Afterwards, because the players like him.
No, the players love him. Rod said when they played for San Francisco, it was him and Matt Williams and like two other guys that would sit in the clubhouse after games for 2 hours, just drinking beer and talking about baseball. They just played baseball all day. They just did all this and they just sit around talking about baseball. They were that into baseball. That's why they like him.
Awesome.
So April 6th, 2005. Okay. He's driving. Matt is cruising along. He rear ends a car that was at a red light.
Okay.
So rear ends a stopped vehicle here.
Yeah.
That car is then pushed into a pedestrian who was in the crosswalk and knocks them over and hurts their knee pretty bad.
He was moving then. Yeah.
Yes. So he is going to plead guilty to drunken driving later on. He's going to be sentenced to some jail time and all that, but that's not the fun part. Okay.
No.
His blood alcohol was more than twice the legal limit. That's not fun at all here, obviously. He also left the scene of the accident.
Oh, Matt.
So bashed into somebody who bashed into a pedestrian. There's a pedestrian laying on the ground in the crosswalk, a car with a fucked up rear end, and he pulls out and around and keeps going. Bye.
How fucking way, you guys.
So he's charged with DUI and hit and run at this point.
Yeah.
Which are both felonies. That's not great at all.
Yeah. Where is this at?
This is in California here.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing that he did, which is interesting, is he didn't get a breathalyzer till 3 hours later because that's when they finally caught up with him, and it was still twice the legal limit, over twice the legal limit.
He was shithoused.
3 hours later.
My God.
And he probably went and started drinking water and eating fucking bread and stuff, and it's still 3 hours. Imagine how shit-faced he was when he ran into this person. It makes sense why he didn't see the car or whatever.
Right.
So he was driving a sport utility vehicle, driving an SUV. It's 9:50 p.m. so you can see taillights in front of you. It was a red light at Via Serena and Santa Margarita Parkway in Rancho Santa Margarita.
Yeah.
And they hit the pedestrian was a 31-year-old unidentified man. I guess he didn't drive away. He just got out of the car and started walking away, Matt.
Oh, he left the car.
Yeah, so somebody had to go track him down and oh, no, come back.
Easy eat it. He threw it in the gutter and went, I'll buy another.
Oh yeah, that's what he did. So they bring him back, right?
Yeah.
Picture him wanted because he's been dinged in the head. Now he's shit faced too.
Right.
He's drunken with a head injury, stumbling off from somewhere. So they bring him back and say, no, you got to stick around. So then the sheriff's deputies arrive, and they're like, where the fuck did that guy go? He took off again. Whenever nobody was looking. He just walked off. He walked off. So then they had to go find his ass, and he wasn't arrested till 1 a.m. So you imagine how shit-faced he was.
I imagine you just run the plate and be like, go to that address.
Yeah, he wasn't near us. He just wandered off somewhere.
Yeah.
He was probably hiding behind a bush sitting down. He's a bit of a mess here. So, by the way, 2005 in June is when his son is drafted by the Oakland A's in the 36th round. His career minor league stats are this, his son. .214 batting average, .244 batting average, .235, and then .223. All high. He made it to high A ball is the highest he made it to, and then he's done. So the best part is about him. We'll talk more about Matt Keough's drinking later because it's going to come back. It's going to come back. He's going to have a fun court appearance that we're going to.
I got a feeling he's still drinking.
We're going to talk about for a while because it's fucking funny. So March 21st, 2006, Real Housewives of Orange County premieres.
Get out of here.
Yep, and she is on the show.
Matt's wife is on it.
His wife is on the show. In the first episode, Jenna's son, Shane, their kid, faces the stress of high school graduation and the baseball draft, where he feels pressure to become the third-generation Keough to play pro baseball. Shane's sister, Kara, feels the sting of sibling rivalry, and things get ugly when she demands a new car. That's a show that people watched. People turned that on and said, I want to watch a fucking teenager demand a new car.
And another one trying to make the majors.
The other one I'm talking about the stress of high school graduation.
Yeah, well, she demands a car.
Well, one other one demands a car. Demands a car. A new car. Not just a car, a new car.
A new one.
I don't think that sounds like she already has a car, and she
probably
it's not
has
enough
one
for her.
Yeah.
Ugh, that is gross. That's a show.
Oh, so relatable.
That show has been on for 17 years.
How the fuck is that still going?
With plot lines like that. Because
what the fuck?
They figured out somewhere between then and now that if in the middle of a kid bitching about a new car and another kid doing this, if one of the ladies just throws wine on another one, that people will watch it, and you can come back another time. That's what it is. That's literally what they figured out. When rich ladies throw wine at each other, everybody wants to watch it for some fucking reason.
I guess the morbid curiosity of how the rich live is what's getting people to tune into that shit, right? Like what ridiculous, wasteful shit are they doing?
Yes, I think
it's got to be.
That's the original, I guess, look at it. But then when you watch it, you go, none of this is real. So
none of this, right. None of it.
This is all scripted. This is ridiculous.
They're all broke.
Yeah. But you see, this is their house. You know what I mean? Ooh, they drive a nice car. This is what it looks like when they have a party.
Mortgage to the hilt, fancy bitches.
Like everybody else.
Right. They're more fancy than we are, appearance-wise, but they do the same white trash hillbilly bullshit that I do.
And a lot of this is like very intricate, like plotting between these women. Like, so-and-so's having a party, but she didn't invite this one because last time she came, she did something with one of the towels in the bathroom and put it askew. And so now I'm going to have a party myself that same night. No, let's see who shows up. And then they have to court guests at the party. It's like, what are we watching?
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Court guests, court vendors to bring the fucking fondue pot. Bring it to my house and not hers.
Fuck, I've never seen The Real Housewives of Orange County.
I haven't either. This is what I assume.
I've seen like a little bit of the Potomac one. I've seen that
Really?
one. Yeah, that's
Virginia
black ladies.
bitches.
That's black ladies arguing with each other. That's fucking
Or is
fun.
that Maryland?
It's Maryland. Yeah, it's D.C., Maryland. So that's black ladies who are mad at each other. That's fun shit. Because at least their arguments are fucking interesting. You know what I mean? They're not like... At least they're funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they have personality unlike these like fucking plastic California ladies.
Bug-eyed fucking eyebrows touching their cheekbones. It's gross. I hate it so much.
And then Sarah put on the Utah one time, the Salt Lake City one, and it's just a bunch of Mormon women talking about like it's so boring, dude. They're all Mormons.
It's sewing.
It's so fucking boring. Yeah, they're all boring. So anyway,
yeah.
April 18th, 2006, so a month later, on tonight's episode, Jenna's son Colton breaks his hand in a fight about drugs.
What?
I'd like to know what happened there. Was the kid
Was
doing
he fighting
drugs?
for him?
Was he fighting for drugs? Fight for your right to do drugs? What was he doing?
Fighting for or against them? Which one?
Somebody stole his drugs and he punched them and took it back? He stole some drugs from somebody else by punching them? What happened? How did he break his...
Over drugs.
Those are my drugs. And he started socking people. I don't know. December 14th, 2007 here. This is from TMC here. Okay. What is going on? This is...
What? The movie channel?
No, TMZ, not TMC.
Oh, TMZ. Okay.
The TMZ cameras caught Shane Keough, the quote, hot son of Jenna and baseball player Matt Keough from Real Housewives last night, making out with some chick here. Some random approached him and asked him if he was K-Fed. Kevin Federline, his ex-husband.
And he said yes.
And they said, well, most people would take offense. Shane actually embraced it and was proud to be called K-Fed.
Yes, I am. Let's fuck.
Oh, my God. That is fucking funny.
Holy shit.
It's better than are you on that show where your mom drinks wine and throws it at other ladies.
Where you fought for drugs?
Jesus, where your brother fought for drugs. That was Colton, the other one.
Oh, the other one, yeah.
So December 20th, 2007, this article's funny. Reality has set in for Real Housewives of Orange County husband Matt Keough.
Oh, no.
Now he's not even ex-Major League Baseball player Matt Keough. He's fucking husband of Real Housewives. The next line says the former MLB star.
Oh, no. Second credit.
Second credit. First credit is my wife throws wine on ladies on television. Wow. Well, he's arrested again.
Yeah.
Here, he's arrested in Newport Beach after officers found him drinking at the bar at the local Marriott hotel, which violates his probation.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be doing that.
Not supposed to be drinking. So he had pleaded guilty to felony DUI charges in 2005, and now he is, not doing well here.
And that's fascinating because the cops weren't looking for him if he was drinking.
He's probably causing a problem.
Somebody called them.
Yeah. Probably. Like, he's not supposed to be drinking.
That guy shouldn't be causing a scene like he's doing.
He's either drunk or has a head injury or both. We can't figure it out. We're not sure. We're not sure what's going on here. So the terms of his probation was he's not to consume any alcohol, none at all. Not supposed to be drunk. He's supposed to be a fucking, sober as a monk here. So the cops arrested him after a cop recognized him and knew he's not supposed to be drinking. That's when you know you're a problem.
Yeah, that is very. We had a quarterback did the same shit.
Yeah, when individual cops just walking by happen to know the terms of your probation. Yeah. Hey, he's not. That's Matt. He's not supposed to be drinking.
Ain't supposed to have drinks, Matt.
Matt, you know you're not supposed to be drinking. That's fucking insane.
Car,
Oh my God! Yeah, the lieutenant said the officers recognized him. They know he's not supposed to have alcohol, and they arrested him. Even a sip of alcohol would be enough to violate his probation. Holy shit! This is the problem, though. He had just gotten out of jail because 7 weeks earlier, or he spent 7 weeks in jail. He got out on December 12th and then gets rearrested on December 20th. The reason why he went to jail was violating his probation for getting drunk at his home.
I'll go where they don't know my name.
So, yeah, he goes to... Dude, you don't go to the Marriott in the town you live unless you're hiding.
That seems like the place you get some anonymity because nobody knows anybody there.
You're fucking a woman who's not your wife.
Yeah.
Or you're getting drunk when you're not supposed to, and no one knows who I am, and a cop walks by and sees him, which is fucking crazy.
And they know you.
Yep. At home, that was a probation officer, did a surprise pop-in on him, and he was shit-faced.
Shit.
So that's not good. I'm not drunk. I'm fine. I got hit in the head a while ago. It's okay.
Welcome to my home.
Wow. The family released a statement. The Keough family asks that the media please leave the family alone while they work to get Matt the help he needs to defeat this unfortunate disease.
Do you want our attention or don't you?
Yeah,
Why
you're
are you
on a reality show.
Right.
Hey,
go fuck
leave us
yourself.
alone. Except for this Thursday when you have to tune into the Real Housewives when I'm going to throw wine on a lady.
Yeah, we find out if my son gets drafted or not.
My son gets drafted. How's my son's fighting hands for drugs? Yeah. Did my daughter get that car? And will that wine come out of that lady's blouse? These are what we're handling.
And into my husband's liver.
Oh, my God. Jesus fucking Christ. So he was originally supposed to go for a hearing on the probation violation charges that week, but since he got arrested again, they had to delay it to January. He admits that he was drinking wine in the hotel in court here. That's fucking funny.
Wine.
Yeah. Wine, I guess, yeah. And he gets, you, sir, may fuck off 180 days in jail.
Okay.
Here. So, that's fucking fun.
That's 6 fucking months, man.
That's 6 months, yeah. I mean, he blew it hard, though. Let's be honest here. I mean, he probably wouldn't have got that just to drinking at home, but then getting out and 8 days later going out to drink more. And did he have his car with him?
Right. How'd you get there?
It's the other thing I'd like to know. So,
oh boy.
The TMZ spokesman, TMZ spoke with the Orange County Sheriff's Department spokesman who confirmed that Matt was arrested, yes, and they said that Matt's family are working together to get Matt into a treatment center to obtain the help he needs. So even the cops are shilling for him. Yeah. Even they're fucking shilling for him.
Somebody help this fucking man.
February 10th, 2009, on tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Orange County, Jenna and her daughter Kara drive up to Berkeley to move Kara into her apartment at college, and find themselves strangers among the, quote, bums and hippies. He went to Berkeley. Berkeley, especially, is kind of known for hippies, a little bit. A little drop, just a touch of hippieism up there.
Right.
You think in Berkeley?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, that's been what they've done there for the last 55, 60 years or so, since the Vietnam protests and everything else.
Haight-Ashbury area.
There's no hippies there anymore. There's junkies, but no hippies.
They used to be hippies.
Yeah. Turned into junkies.
They're going hard now.
Oh, my God. So that's the big... Oh, no, what do we do? This girl's having the easiest fucking ride into college possible, but there's hippies around. God forbid.
It's 2009. It's a lot of guys with mustaches. That's all.
That's all it is. Yeah, they're hipsters probably more than hippies.
Yeah, it's not hippies.
Like for the mother to go, hey, you know what you can do? You can get a fucking job and go to community college and drive a 10-year-old Toyota Corolla like every fucking other kid your age, or shut the fuck up and enjoy.
Live above my garage and shut your fucking mouth.
You spoiled bitch. You know what it takes? You know what this fucking apartment costs a month?
Right.
Asshole. So August 15th, oh Jesus, August 15th, 2009, he runs a stop sign about a quarter mile from his home. So
why is he allowed to drive?
He shouldn't be allowed to drive, I don't think. A sobriety test and blood alcohol test determined his alcohol level was, buckle up for this shit, 0.30.
Man alive.
0.30. That's
How
about
did he
4
start
times
the
the
car?
legal limit. Dude, that's
ham-dogged. Yeah.
That is fucked up. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Some people go, 0.12, I'm not fucked up. Or what? 0.30, you are fucked.
You're hammered.
Up. That is messed up. Wow, that is something
in
else.
2009 or 2012?
In 2009.
Yeah. You can get a ride by then.
Oh my God, there's fucking there's isn't there ride sharing?
Cabs are there. But
Get a
they
cab,
are very affordable.
dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing? 0.30. This is your and it's not like it's going to go under the radar and no one will know. Your wife's on fucking TV every week. Everyone knows about this.
Unbelievable, high-profile interactions with police after alcohol already.
So yes, and I find it probably a little curious, honestly.
Yeah.
Something tells me if we can get a hold of his his police record, he probably had DUIs before 2005. We just didn't know about it because his wife wasn't on a fucking reality TV show where TMZ would report husband of reality star. Like, it wouldn't have been real big news that some relief pitcher who hasn't pitched in the major leagues since fucking 1986 got a DUI. Got
his
who
eggs
cares?
scrambled in 1992.
Yeah. So they postpone a court sentencing because his attorney determined he was too drunk to report.
Too shithouse to be here.
Literally, he can't come to get sentenced for being shit-faced because he's too shit-faced.
He's too drunk to stare a judge in the eye.
Wow. He won't be able to
sit in a chair?
He won't be able to fixate on you, Judge. He'll be really... so he pleads guilty on July 20th or 12th, 2010 to felony DUI, and he is sent to the California Institution for Men in Chino for a 90-day diagnostic program so mental health experts could determine if he was eligible for probation or not. How fucked up are you, is what they're asking, basically.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. So then September 22nd, 2009. Okay, that was the 15th he ran the stop sign. September 22nd, he is charged with drunk driving again.
Oh, my God.
So he gets out of jail, does his diagnostic. They must have let him out, and then he gets picked up again.
How many times has he driven drunk? How many times has he driven sober?
Not a lot, I feel like.
No.
And baseball players used to do that kind of shit all the time because all these guys' books in like the 70s and like the early 80s, if you got pulled over, you just go, hey, I'll get you some tickets to the ball game. And the cops would be like, yeah, sure, let me get an autograph for my kid. And they let you go.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't happen anymore. So
if it didn't happen, LaRussa wouldn't have tried it that one time.
That's
you know what I mean?
One, he got arrested 8 times for He'll be an episode. He got arrested. He has so many DUIs, Tony LaRussa.
Really?
Holy shit. Oh my God. He's the king of them. I don't think he's been allowed to drive since the fucking 80s. I think he's been banned from driving for decades.
It was very recent that he got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's had so many, LaRussa.
Really?
He's famous for him. Oh, yeah,
Jesus.
absolutely.
And if it didn't work, then we wouldn't know that he tried it.
Absolutely. Yeah. He wouldn't have been like, I'll give it one shot. And he keeps doing it.
I've heard this works.
Oh, my God. So November 19th, 2009, on tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Orange County,
oh boy,
Matt Keough makes the gut-wrenching decision to, okay, I'm going to leave it up. What does everyone think the gut-wrenching decision is going to be for her?
Sell her home and live in a smaller home because she doesn't have any money.
Nope. The gut-wrenching decision to not to, stop doing a reality show and concentrate on helping her family or whatever. No, it's to pull back from spending so much time with the Housewives in order to concentrate more on, not her family, her real estate business. Which is struggling in the sagging economy of 2009. Not a good time to be a real estate agent, 2009.
Crazy. But she wants to put all that effort into it.
Really redouble her efforts. Pump it in there.
On shit that nobody's buying. Okay.
Oh, my God.
She also want to start really getting into the reevaluation of her Beanie Baby collection.
She's going to check that out. She's got a lot of those. She invested so much in Hummel figurines. They're going to be worth something someday. So, but I mean, I guess that's a good thing to do because it turned around in California eventually pretty quickly and whatever. So, July of 2010. All right, it's court for Matt. He plans to, they've come to an agreement to enter a guilty plea.
Okay.
With no guarantees on punishment. So a plea that has he's just entering it basically mercy of the court.
Mercy, please help.
Because holy shit, obviously I'm a disaster. So
I need help.
He does this. He shows up at court. His attorney says he's too drunk, don't come in here, sends him away. Again, this happened again now.
Oh, my God.
Tells him to stop, go away.
He's begging for mercy, hammered?
Hammered.
Oh, my God.
Then he comes back to court for the second time now, another hearing they reschedule, and he showed up again, and his attorney said he still smelled of alcohol on another appearance.
Smelled of it.
But was, quote, sober enough to enter a plea. They can't get him sober. They just got to get him in court sober enough to say guilty to a judge.
Yeah. It's 5 letters, man.
That is wild.
6 letters. Sorry.
He can't go to court sober?
Yeah. How do you not? This is your livelihood, man. How do you not go to a judge and take this dead ass serious? That's not even a point of like trying to just be a good person. That tells me his chemical dependency is so much that if he did come in sober, he'd look like he's having a seizure.
He'd be shaking and probably throwing up on the floor. Yeah. He needs that to even out probably.
Right.
Holy shit. So October 14th, 2010, the judge here, not too thrilled with him, obviously. His lawyer said he had a good career as a baseball player and was affected by low self-esteem and losing his family. That's what the excuse. I would also put in he's been hit in the head and not, he's a little loopy up there, but they didn't put that in there.
I would skip the low self-esteem and be like, the man had a traumatic head injury.
Yeah, he had a bad brain injury. His wife here, the Real Housewives lady, asked the judge to give her husband probation. Give him probation. She said he'll have a strong support network here, including their 2 college-age sons who live at home. We'll all keep an eye on him. Everyone.
The worst people for an alcoholic to be around is 2 college-age boys.
No. They're going to keep an eye on him. Everything's fine. They're going to make sure there's no booze anywhere. A washed-out baseball prospect and a college kid. They're going to make sure everything's fine.
Washed-out baseball 2 guys that find new ways to drink alcohol every day.
Yeah, every day. Holy shit. His lawyer told the judge that he's not a threat to society, which I beg to differ. Right. If you're driving around with a .30 fucking blood alcohol level, you are a threat to society, motherfucker.
And that is after hitting a vehicle and a pedestrian and then leaving.
Wandering off. So
dangerous.
He said, get probation. Come on. What are we doing here? Evaluators at Chino were actually split here. One psychiatrist thought that he should get a prison sentence, and another counselor recommended probation. So the judge says, well, let's see here. You, sir, may fuck off a year in jail. A year he gets here, and 3 months probation as well.
Okay.
Here they said that he'll end up serving about 3 or 4 months of the time, because he was already given 194 days of credit for time served while he was sitting waiting for all this because they couldn't let him out because he'd have been shit-faced again. The judge said, I don't think taxpayers need to pay any more for him. He doesn't need to be in the prison system for any longer. And he's had a lot of problems here, obviously.
Truly.
His wife, again, told the judge that his driving drunk was a stupid infraction and that she wasn't aware that he had started drinking again. Are you kidding me?
Again? I don't think he could.
Again? That's what I mean. Yeah. When did he stop? She said he's not a threat to society at all. I think he certainly is. So February 9th, 2014, it's a banner day on The Real Housewives of Orange County.
What happened?
As Matt Keough, who grew up right before our eyes on The Real Housewives of Orange County, is now a married woman.
Oh.
Oh, boy. She said, I do, I'm reading from this article, to NFL player Kyle Bosworth.
Right.
Wow. It was so perfect, she gushed. Best day ever.
Best day ever.
Holy shit. The ceremony, as well as the reception, took place at Real Housewife Mom's house.
Of course, yeah.
Guests feasted on In-N-Out Burger and barbecue.
What?
Ugh. Get it together, people. I know everybody loves In-N-Out Burger, but it's not wedding
I thought she
food.
was doing well.
Yeah, what's going on here? The real estate business is hurting, sweetheart. I'm telling you, it's bad.
So much for best day ever.
This is how bad it is. It's very rough. They said that she had a big thing. Her bridesmaids included soccer star Alex Morgan. Okay. Who that is. Whatever. He said, my beautiful wife, perfect day, love. That's what she said. And they're very excited. November 15th, 2019, Jenna says that she's finally signed her divorce papers 16 years after separating. They've been married this whole time. Yep.
Since 2003, she's been hanging on.
Yep. She apparently by this time is a successful real estate agent.
Yeah.
And she was on 5 seasons of The Real Housewives, by the way.
Can you imagine being like, I bought this house for my housewife?
For my housewife. She told People, quote, People magazine, who, if you listen to your stupid opinions, you'll know why Jimmie's laughing. People are very angry at that magazine. Seriously, listen to it.
People were forced to read this article.
Forced. Yeah, they're like, you motherfuckers, as they read it. I didn't ask for this. Meanwhile, there's some poor people sitting in their houses going, what's going on with Jenna Keough? I have not got my people in 6 months.
Somebody tell me.
Somebody else is getting 4 issues a month going, I didn't ask for any of these. I never ordered them. They send me 4 a month.
Well, Trisha Yearwood's got a pot of
boiled puppies
stew going.
Yeah. Man. So she said this, quote, he'd been asking for a divorce for years, and I felt he was well enough to let him go. I didn't divorce him because he wasn't well enough to be divorced from me. Pardon?
I got a feeling he's still not well enough.
Wow. She also said that, quote, he's engaged to someone. I think he wants to get married again, so it's like, okay. He's getting remarried.
So he's not even divorced, and he's already engaged to somebody.
Well, she said, quote, we haven't been together in probably 15 or 20 years. So he's been single. He's been on his own, but now he's just ready to get married. It was hard. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm a fighter. You don't let go of things. Those sound like complete non sequiturs together. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm a fighter. You don't let go of. Is Wisconsin known for fighting? They're known for cheese. Not fighting. Right? They're known as a mild-mannered people up there, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very chill.
They're very chill. I'm a fighter. That's that famous Wisconsin attitude that everybody talks about. Oh, he's got a real attitude on him. He thinks he's from fucking Madison or something.
That's why he's maybe that's why she likes him so much. She's just used to people smelling like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. She's like, it smells just like my childhood basement.
The smell of beer farts. I love it.
Beer farts. She said, though, that definitely it's been different since 92. Yeah. That's when she said he prefers the company of himself. He's been alone for a long time, so much so that he wants to be remarried. Maybe he didn't like you.
Right. Well,
also,
there's certainly something there that he doesn't like.
Yeah. During the Real Housewives of Orange County BravoCon panel.
What?
They had a fucking BravoCon. that would have a
to
convention.
Be shitting me.
Oh, these cons are the biggest thing where they just have everybody come there. And
it's a con, all right.
It's a con. Something's a con.
Somebody's getting conned.
She said, last week I signed the divorce papers, 14 years later. We were really apart for our 32 married years. We were apart for maybe 22. I wanted to be there for him if he didn't have a voice. I wanted to give him a voice.
I hope he gets half.
Wow, that would be hilarious. Well, he is. It's California. It's community property.
Yeah, he's getting half.
Half.
Unless he just acquiesces and lets her keep whatever she wants.
That's possible. She said the judge has to sign it. Maybe he did this week. I haven't heard. We at least agreed to everything, and properties are all divided and everything's done. So they agreed to everything. They're not fighting about everything here, which whatever I have now, we haven't been together in 15 years. Let's just say whatever you have, you have. Whatever I have, I have. What are we fucking talking about here?
And that's what they did because he's a man and he'll just do that. But
so it stops.
Yeah,
I just don't want to deal with this anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore.
Plus, he's lazy. He's like, I'm shit-faced. I can't have time to read all these paperwork and shit. Talk to lawyers and stuff. You take what you got, and I'll keep what I got, and we'll keep it real simple.
If we fight, it's going to drive me to drink.
Did I have a half a bottle of wine in your house? Did I leave it there in 2003? Because I'll take that, though.
I don't need you to drive me to drink. I'll drive me to drink.
I'll drive when I'm done drinking.
I'll drive myself to drink. I don't need nobody.
Into a pedestrian. Pow. Boom. Grand Theft Auto style.
I hate laughing at it so much because it's so serious, but that is so fucked up that he did it at all.
Fucking ridiculous, yeah. So, wow. She said, they spent a lot of time apart. Kara, the daughter, said, my dad was on the road a lot, and my mom was always working, so no one was really at home when we got back from school. It was good to have the dogs there, a familiar face to come home to.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. She announced that she was listing her home, by the way, that year also. Her 5-bedroom, 6-bath Orange County mansion listed for $2.9 million. In 2019.
I'm shocked it's that low. That's impressive.
That's 2019. So that's before everything spiked a little bit, before the COVID real estate craziness and all that kind of shit. She said she was going to split her time between the West and the East Coast.
Yeah, but not the 2.9 with him.
That's not with him, though. I'm keeping that for me.
I'll split my time with the coasts.
I gave him a bottle of Thunderbird. That's what he asked for in the divorce, and he got it. He said it was fine. My daughter, Kara Bosworth, and my beautiful grandbaby, Decker, live in Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, God.
Jesus.
So I'm going...
He was playing for the Jaguars.
Yeah. So I'm going to be bi-coastal. Nope. That's not what that means. I get that technically one's on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast. You're not bi-coastal if one of your coasts is Jacksonville. That's not what that is.
That's gray water, love. That's not an ocean.
That's sometimes I live in LA and sometimes I live in Jacksonville. That's not I'm bi-coastal. At all.
Sometimes I live in LA, other times I fight gators.
Yeah, I fight gators and fucking just live in
at
a Navy
the Publix.
Holy shit. So I'm going to be bi-coastal. Wow, that is really...
That is culture shock, going from Orange County to fucking Jacksonville.
Wow.
I mean, there's oranges. But...
Yeah, and I do not apologize for anything we're saying about Jacksonville.
It's a terrible place.
Not a great place at all.
Oh, my.
She said Kara and Kyle are expecting their second child as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. So they're expecting a second child. And Jenna said, I'm in the process of getting licensed in Florida so I can flip houses with Kyle Bosworth, my son-in-law. You're not trying to start a reality show, are you, between your Real Housewives and he's an NFL player and we're going to start our house flipping business? That sounds like a reality show.
In Jacksonville.
And she said, I'm ready to date.
Oh. Ready. She's going to go date in the Jacksonville pool?
Gonna go. That's going to be good.
I can't. I'll watch that shit.
Well, there is a guy that owns his own gator wrestling farm. So
yeah, she's going to date a lot of one-armed men.
He's got potential. Well, he's got two. One of them's fine. Okay, it's cut off at the forearm, but it's still most of an arm, and he uses that nub better than most guys use a full hand, man, I'm telling you. Owns his own farm. I think it's going to be good.
Shit.
They said, what are you looking for in a man? And she said this. He needs to be brilliant and funny, and he needs to have enough money to travel. I don't want to have to support somebody in my old age.
Don't look in Jacksonville.
Brilliant and funny and rich. Okay. And he's going to go out, and you're 68 years old right now. That's what he's looking for.
I'm looking for Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're looking for... No, that guy is like, if a guy is in his late 60s and he's brilliant and funny and rich, he's like, I'm going to get a 45-year-old.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks. Yeah. Or younger. But I mean, that's one who's, keeping it.
Yep. Yeah.
I think I could swing a 45-year-old here.
I bet I could get a 38-year-old. Watch me.
A 65-year-old lady, they'd be like, no, that's funny. No. No. What's your daughter up to?
Yeah, you got any kids?
Got any kids? They hot? So, April 14th, 2020. Yikes. Kara's newborn son, McCoy, dies after experiencing, I've never heard of this before, a compressed umbilical cord.
Oh, while he was in the womb?
We'll find out
Has
here.
to
Yeah.
Because afterwards,
shoulder dytasia and a compressed umbilical cord during birth.
Oh, no.
Died during birth. Yeah.
So they didn't know that he was pressing. Somehow the umbilical cord got pinched somewhere.
It got, yeah.
Like water hose pinched off, yeah.
She gave birth on April 6th at 3:10 a.m. And the kid was huge, too. The dead kid here. That sounds awful, but the kid died. Was 11 pounds, 4 ounces.
Holy shit.
That's a fucking enormous
That's a 1-year-old.
Child. That's a future defensive lineman is what that is.
My God.
And they said that she said, quote, McCoy surprised us all with his size and strength and overall perfection. He joined our Heavenly Father and will live forever in the hearts of his loving parents, his adoring sister, and those that received his life-saving gifts because they donated his organs. Yeah. So there's babies that need them. That's fucking...
Poor little guy.
Poor little guy. That's rough. Jesus Christ. So, that's wild. There's a bunch of Bible quotes in here that I'm not going to get into. Sure. She just went on a Bible post quote and fucking rant here. There's a John 16:20.
No 3:16.
Not getting into all that. I was going to say 3:16 didn't come into this one here, which would have been funny. If she posted Austin 3:16, I would have been laughing my ass off. Wow.
Poor thing. That's got to be horrendous.
That is, that's
to go full term, healthy baby, go to deliver it, and he's so big that he pinches the cord. Oh my God, that's
apparently it got.
How much worse does it get?
Probably took a while in birth maybe to get him out because he's so big. So that's how this happened here.
Sitting on that cord too long, did it?
Yeah, that's half in and half out. Fucking, I don't know.
Whew.
So May 1st, 2020 here. 64 years old Matt is at this point in time here.
Yeah.
He dies this day.
What?
Yeah, May 1st, 2020. Wow. He dies here. They said, here's the president of the Oakland A's. Said Matt was a great baseball man and a proud Oakland A. He had an incredible passion for the game, and we're lucky to have him and his wealth of knowledge alongside us for the years he worked as a special assistant. So the daughter I feel terrible for. Her kid fucking died on April 14th, and then her dad died on May 1st.
Get out of here. 2 weeks.
2 fucking weeks. Think about that shit.
We lost her kid and her dad.
Yeah, that is, it was a blood clot, apparently, that happened.
In his brain, probably?
A pulmonary embolism in his lungs.
Okay. Yeah.
Just a freak thing.
Wow.
They said, Jenna said he wasn't sick.
Yeah.
He just died. He was fine. Everything was fine. She said he was so young and pretty reasonably healthy. That's a guy who never ate sugar and ate really healthy, and he has no family history of pulmonary embolisms. This is just out of the blue. Can happen to anybody.
But, babe, he put enough booze in him that turns directly to sugar.
He ate really healthy when he was, not drinking his dinner? Give me a fucking break.
Stop it.
0.30 is bad for you. Every part of your fucking body, that's bad for. If you're doing that on a regular basis, it doesn't matter what you're eating.
He didn't do it just once. There's no way that was the only time.
You could be eating nothing but kale and gluten-free 8-grain fucking seed bread, and you're still going to be a disaster physically.
0.30, internally, you're fucked.
That is no good here. But I don't know if that causes pulmonary embolisms or not. That just seems like a freak thing here.
I know alcohol is not good for your respiratory system. Any of your
not good for anything.
System. Yeah,
any of your systems. You're just drinking
literally poison.
Yeah,
right.
That's why it fucks you up.
Yeah, it's literally bad for you.
Let's have enough to be fun, but not enough to kill me. What do you say? All right,
it's a precarious.
That's what
it's a precarious balance, man.
That's what we're doing. So yeah, they said the cause of the blood clot was not immediately clear. Yeah. And she said, Jenna, that leading up to his death, he was having a really hard time adjusting to staying at home, and because this was during COVID. This was the beginning of COVID. So
right in 2020.
Yeah, this was May 1st, 2020. It was the heart of it. So she said he just wasn't used to staying at home. She said, quote, he was used to riding his bike 30 miles a day or 20 miles a day, so probably the inactivity didn't help him. He went from doing that always to just sitting on his ass. So she said that he had signed the divorce papers, though, because they were like, are you going to get that done? They said that he was apparently eating lunch with his girlfriend, Claudia. And Jenna said, quote, he was watching the races, his favorite thing to do every day. He would watch the races. And I guess his fiance left the room for a few minutes, and when she came back, she thought he might be sleeping, but then realized he was dead.
There's no snore happening.
No snoring and no breathing, and his eyes are wide open. So that makes I don't know if that's true. So this is, like I said, 2 weeks after that. That is horrible after the grandson died for Jenna. Yeah, that's hard. Jenna said, quote, you know what, to lose a grandchild and an ex-husband in less than 3 weeks, it's been rough. Yeah. Jenna said that all the kids are, quote, they're all taking it badly.
I'll bet.
I would think Kara's probably taking it horribly.
Yeah, I'll bet several of them are hammered right now.
Hammered. Let's have one to Dad. There we go. So, she put a post up saying, Daddy, please take care of my son. Teach him the circle change up and how to find forever friends. You're on grandpa duty in heaven now.
Holy fuck,
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Ouch.
That was on Instagram. She posted that. Jesus, that got some likes, I bet.
Twist that motherfucker.
Whew, man. She then said that, quote, it's my favorite place was always on your shoulders. It makes me smile knowing McCoy will be there with you, right there on your shoulders. It wasn't always perfect, but I wouldn't change it for the world. You taught me more than you'll ever know, and I hope that I make you proud. Kick back and enjoy the eternal sunshine. Well, you just gave him a baby to watch now.
Yeah.
He's got responsibility.
You can't.
I'm up at 2
an
a.m.
11-pound
kid. What are you talking about? I'm enjoying shit. Sunshine. I'm up all night.
He's got a newborn the size of a 6-month-old on his shoulders. Yeah. He doesn't have time to relax.
Christ, you're going to drive the man to drink. Jesus Christ. Wow. That's amazing. So
I feel terrible for him, though. That's awful.
Fuck, yeah. So, May 29th, 2001. Let's talk about Shane a little bit here.
Yeah, how's he doing?
Okay. Well, I mean, his mother's a Playboy model. His father's a professional baseball player. He grew up in a big mansion. Yeah. So, he was called by a TV company to make a reality show here. And, we'll talk. That was that wasn't him. That was the Real Housewives. So we're talking about the whole Real Housewives thing and how it spread into all this. Shane said he couldn't have known how big the franchise could become. He was 18 when the pilot was filmed. He was just a high school student, and he said the show's producers portrayed him as a jock with a foul mouth and a bad attitude. He said, I was a punk who thought he was cool. I came from a family of actors and athletes and yet had to be humbled by real life. He, by the way, he works in real estate, Shane.
With Mom.
In Florida, yeah. He said, though, one time he was playing on the show for the Kane County Cougars, a minor league team, and he knew his mother's film crew planned to watch him play, and he thought that was cool. But when he got to the stadium, they said that he said that he had been relegated to the substitutes bench.
Ouch.
He said, I couldn't think of anything worse. He texted his mother begging her not to come to the game.
Yeah, please don't come. I don't need
film him
this.
Sitting on the bench. But the show's producers put pressure on her to go onto the field and attempt to talk to her son. So he is pissed off, doesn't want them there to begin with. This is his job, mind you. They're not fucking around. He's a professional baseball player. This is hard to do. And
he's got a real housewife of Orange County running down into the dugout.
With a film crew.
To say, why aren't you playing, honey?
What's going on? So Shane said he was fucking horrified. He said, quote, I walked away and said, get the fuck away from me. Mm-hmm. And that was on Real Housewives, so that's what everybody thought he was. He told his mother, who's just there to see him, to get the fuck away from him. What a rude son.
What a foul-mouthed punk.
Yeah, and he said also the producers edited the incident to make it look as though he had sworn at his mother for no reason.
Oh.
They didn't have the whole thing leading up where he said, no, don't come down. No. They just made it sound like she showed up and everything was happy and she was like, hi, baby. And he was like, get the fuck away from me. Not that he told her not to come, then not to come on the field. And then she ignored both of what he asked for and came with a film crew.
Right.
Wow.
Well, there's literally no reason to film anything there because he's not playing. The only thing to film is a crazy reaction, and they got it.
Yep, and that's what they're looking for. Or disappointment, too. Look at him, he's not playing, and she can complain. Maybe she'll yell at the coach. Maybe they'll get that on film. You know what I mean? Whatever it happens. So he said, I got death threats for that.
Really?
These Real Housewives people are fucking nuts.
What the fuck, man?
How dare you talk to... Yeah, he got a death...
People wanted to kill him?
Death threats for anything nowadays. We've gotten death threats, for Christ's sake. You'll get death threats for anything. It's just the way it is. So that's life. Baseball fans of that minor league team threatened to cancel their season tickets if they didn't get rid of him.
Yeah, they maybe gave death threats too. Making a joke of our franchise, I'll fucking murder you.
No. It was because he was mean to his mom on TV.
Oh, really?
What it was, yeah. And it was edited by producers to look meaner. It wasn't because of that. It was that. That's all it was. They were mad at that. His manager transferred him to another team. He got brought up, which they wouldn't bring you up to a higher level to get that, to stop that from happening. But anyway, he couldn't hack it and he gets cut anyway. So he said, quote, that probably led to a shorter baseball career. 2 years after that incident, I was done. He said that if he posts about his mother on social media, even to this day, he gets abuse for it on that incident in 2008. Still get shit.
That is amazing.
He said
15 years.
Oh, he said, they say you're a terrible person. You should be ashamed of how you treated your mother.
15 years ago.
For 1 second, that was edited on a reality TV show to look worse than it was, obviously.
Half of his life ago.
Half of his life. He said, people assume that I treated my mother terribly my whole life, but that's not the case. It's like that was ever. He said, have you ever said anything disrespectful out of rage to your parents? Who the fuck hasn't?
He got it immortalized.
Think about that, though. Think about things you've done in your life that if it was on a reality TV show, they would talk about still on it that you did. Wow. How awesome is that?
15 years ago. You should be ashamed of yourself, Shane.
Shame to yourself for how you treat her, how you treat your mother.
When you're a child.
How dare you? It's funny because one moment on TV will last forever.
Oh, God, yeah.
If you say Sally Field, people will still go, they like me. They really like me. She had a 1-2 second thing on the Oscars in like 1974, and it's been fucking nothing but that since. Like, that really fucking cements
There's a lot of guys, you just say their name and you see a blink of their, a blink of everything that happened to them.
Yeah, and sports is huge like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, Donnie Moore's whole career, that Patreon episode we did, that whole career is one bad pitch to Dave Henderson. Meanwhile, the rest of it, it's crazy. Wow. So he also shot his wife, everybody. Think about it.
There's that, yeah.
There's that. So he said that he doesn't blame them. He said, I never blamed them because they were, because that was who they were prior to me being born, meaning his parents being famous. My mom was an actress and my dad was an athlete, but the swearing incident made it bad. He said that that's what caused his mother to quit the show afterwards, was that everybody was giving her kid a lot of shit. And they probably also, it would have been 5 years. They get new ones in every few years. Yeah. So in 2009, she explained that she did so to protect her children. That's why she quit. She said the kids enjoyed it the first few years, and then it got to be tough on them. With editing, you can hit a home run and it will show you striking out. That's a fact.
References.
Yeah, well, it's a fact, too. I don't know how anybody fucking does that, by the way. Anybody goes on a reality show knowing no matter what you do or say, they're going to just make it whatever they feel like the story
You lose
can be.
every time.
If you get enough footage of people, you can have them doing anything. Saying anything here.
Mm-hmm.
So the Real Housewives of Orange County has a 4.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb.
Great show.
So people are hate watching this shit, and that's it. It said at his time of death that he had a $500,000 net worth, but as we know, who the hell knows if that's true here. But one thing I have to say, there was no real good time for it in here, but after his whole life, he died in a weird way, got hit in the head, all of this. I mean, you kind of feel bad for the guy because of what happened to his career. He could have had a comeback, but not nearly as bad as you feel. Because it's for Matt Keough, number one, an 8-year-old in Charlotte who was in the newspaper fishing on Earth Day.
Is that right? Good for you, Matt.
When you look him up. Also, Matt Keough, a, quote, experienced digital marketer in the greater Cleveland area.
I mean, we all have social media, Matt.
I'm a digital marketer. Yeah. I post things on my social media.
A Facebook page, Matt.
Matt. Also, Matt Keough, professor of acquisition management. Wow, that seems crazy. Defense acquisition strategy, some corporate shit there. And Matt Keough, hospitality consultant.
Yeah.
Get that booze flowing.
We're at
Cape and Islands Hospitality, South Dennis, Massachusetts.
I wish it was at a Hyatt.
That would be amazing. At a Marriott?
Yeah.
That is Matt Keough, everybody.
Wow. My favorite one's still The Fisherman.
That is fucking, Dude, that is crazy. The fact that he showed up to court drunk is wild.
Unbelievable.
And more than once. And the fact that he got hit in the fucking head and that changed just his whole life, the whole trajectory, the whole path and course. And I tried to say 4 words at once there of his entire fucking life just totally changed off the rails. The track of his life, everything changes based on being hit in the fucking head in a very tragic incident. So that is a weird story, and he didn't kill anybody, so that's good.
Thankfully,
we had a non-murderous episode for a week, so look at that. We did it, everybody. So barely, Christ, barely made it out alive. So that's Matt Keough, everybody. If you like the show, tell everyone about it. That's the thing. Crime and sports movement. Pass it along. Tell your friends. Post on social media. Help the show go up the charts. It really does help, and it'll keep us around longer doing this thing. So do that and hang out with us. Also, you want to rate it review it on whatever app you're listening on. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now. Get any kind of merch you want. Tickets for live shows. The next year's tour will be on sale sometime in December. It's coming very soon, so get in there and check that out. You certainly want to check out social media as well at Crime and Sports on Facebook and Twitter, and at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Check that out. Patreon.com /Crime and Sports is something that you definitely want. How could you not want it? You get a couple hundred bonus episodes to binge immediately. It's $5 a month. But $5 nowadays is not a lot. It's a cup of coffee. It's affordable, and we will definitely give you the content for it. And this week is no different. What you're going to get this week is for Crime and Sports, which you'll, of course, have access to. We are going to talk about more theme park disasters.
Oh, boy.
Because those are some of the most fun episodes we've ever done of any show ever. So we'll talk about that. That's going to be a blast. And then for Small Town Murder, which, of course, you'll also have access to.
Yes.
We're going to talk about this fucked up documentary that's out right now about this really fucked up group. It's called The Twin Flames.
Yeah.
It is incredible. Wow.
It's something.
It's weird. It's some culty shit, and it's crazy. So we'll talk all about that shit and get into who the hell is doing this and what they did and what happened here. Patreon.com/Crime and Sports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right fucking now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the most wonderful sons of bitch bastards that have ever fucking happened. Jimmie, hit me with them now.
This week's executive producers are Brandy Huntley, Lauren Kell. Happy birthday, Lauren.
Happy birthday.
Kyle Norwig and Melissa Miller. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. Other producers this week are Peyton Meadows, Janice Hill, Jake Olette, Ole, Tiffany, nope, that's Tyler. Tyler Vale, Tiffany Spurlock, Mel Beauty, Brandy Morris, Stina Madu, JD, John Husk, Gina Johnson, Caitlin Stein, Sarah Warrenda, Maria Hadfield, Brad, Meemaw Rob. All right, Jay Chia, Haley Kirstein, Ashley Denhart, Kayla Bell, Jamie Washburn.
On a pronunciation halfway through it.
I'll figure it out. Leah, Christina, Blakely Mitchell, Aaron Robb, Audi Justice, Diana Kendall, Paul Eason, Rowan McLeod, Michelle Porter, Antonin Murray, Jamie Gregory, David Wood, Christopher Camposio, Abby Havorka, a little too Italian, Lynn Miller, Kathy with no last name, Joe Threddle, Devin Williams, Jess Benson, Melissa Rapach Smith, Tasha Nicole, Monty Buckles, Nikki with no last name, Mar Youngs. What is it?
Monty Buckles sounds like a ventriloquist puppet's name. Sorry, Monty Buckles, but it does.
May Young's hand baby. I don't know what that means.
That's a wrestling reference.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
Brooke and Joe Bill, Elizabeth with no last name, Golden Shaver, Lana with no last name, Joe with no last name, Kelly Jordan, Caitlin Starrink, Kneebone, Kara with no last name, Whitney Jones, Christian Vannersdale, Oliver, probably Oliver, Noel
No,
Johnson.
it's Oliver, probably, I think
Well,
is how you pronounce that.
possible.
Jimmy, Jesus Christ, get with the program.
Ken and Bera Ames, Linus Almquist, if that is for real your name, Linus, that is amazing. I wish I would have thought of it a long time. All right, Rough Racken Rackle Han, Chad with no last name, Beef Bag, Nikki Lenardi, Lenardi probably, Dakota with no last name, Becca Fortunato, Nate Veziu, Tyler Chrisman, Carla Ayala, Luke Hardy, BQ05, Seidel, I don't know, with no last name, Deanna Reese, Caleb with no last name, Christy Corcoran, Nikolai Stepanov, Christy B, Miranda Fincher, Sydney Ray the First, I guess, Danina Hayes, Danina. Nathan Charlton, Sally Lang, David with no last name, E. Geddes, Rose Smith, Randa Jade, Megan Lynn Paul maybe, Mike Luciano, Emily Hicks, Rebecca Jurek, Christopher Taylor, Pharaoh Fan, Emily Foster, Joey Johnson, Caitlin Menzel, Cammie Longsdon, oh boy, Elizabeth Nedro, Patrick West, Amanda Matheson, Nicole Davies, Nicole Mongur, Haley Coming. Oh, good for you, Haley. Susan Whitkoff. My name is Jamie, damn it. Julia Kakova, Mike McDaniel, Scott McKenzie, Jeremy Smith, and Pete with no last name, but all of our patrons. You guys are terrific. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, you wonderful, crazy bastards. We appreciate all that you do for us, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything. And, don't show up for court shit-faced, by the way.
Unreal.
Just a tip from us for the holidays. Yeah. By the way, I just pictured Matt Keough walking into court hammered going, this is the worst bar ever. Ever. That chick up there's got like a baggy robe on. I can't even see her tits.
If you dress sexier, you'd make better tips.
That's all I'm saying. And he tried to give the judge a 5, and then she sentenced him to a year in
Sometimes
jail.
when drunk people are real drunk, they find that one little phrase that they keep saying over and over again. I'll bet his is, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. He smiles and shrugs with one shoulder.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? So there you go, everybody. Thank you so much. Keep coming back week after week. If you want to follow us on social media, shutupandgivememurder.com is the place to find all the links to everything. That's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will be back next week live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.